looking to also prepare themselves for the 2019 World Cup in Japan. Today with me in the commentary box is none other than Andries Strauss. Andries, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Justin, and thank you for having me here today. What a fantastic day of rugby is lying ahead of us. We saw some decent rugby on Tuesday in Paarl. Some good results for the Junior Boks and also for the Argentinian team. But this Namibian side over here, as we spoke to their coach Phil Davies, this is all about building team structure and team culture heading into the World Cup in September, October. So they're a long way away from where they want to be, and they're aware of that, but they want to be focusing on the processes instead of the results. But I'm looking forward to seeing improved performance from the Namibian side today.
Also, Andries, the conditions are not great out here. This might just suit the Namibians.
Yeah, it's slightly rainy, and this field out here at the Tygerberg Rugby Club is extremely exposed to the conditions. So the wind is blowing slightly. We've had some weather in the area this morning, and it will be wet underfoot. It might just suit the Namibians wanting to play a more physical brand of rugby and taking on these young kids. They're an open side. They've got a bit more experience in terms of age. They might have a small weight advantage, and they'd like to make use of these weather conditions to put the Junior Boks under some pressure.
So the Junior Springboks, well, they've had a lot of changes for today's game. Only 2 players keeping their position. Lucky enough for fullback Kamani Kota, David Creel suffered an injury in the last few days, so he keeps his place. And also fly off David Kutzer, who played really well and was good off the tee. Their wingers, Sebastian Job and Manus Potgieter. Notably, that entire back 3 are all from the Blue Bulls Union, and also outside centre JC Knoll, who was schooled at Oakdale. The centre is James Molense as well, out of Otaniqua. He was really good off the bench against Georgia and scored a wonderful try. Senede Nohamba also gets a chance at 9, and then Pepsi Buthelezi, who's already played 5 games for the Sharks at Super Rugby level. Dylan Richardson, he's also a sensation, the blindside flanker. Evan Ruiz, Craven Week Player of the Year in 2018 on the open side flank. And then the lock combination there of Emil van Heerden and Janku Swanepoel. The front row, Johan van Sail at hooker, Hanru Jacobs gets a start at tight head prop, and then Masuku, the loose head prop. Also there, the bench full of sensations, notably Franco Horn, who was the captain against Georgia on Tuesday, and he scored 4 tries. And then also Jaden Hendrickse, the scrum half, also really had a good game, along with Damian Fenter.
Impressive team there, Justin. The whole back line, pace, power. James Molense also recently signed with the Bulls. Manus Potgieter playing on the wing, and more, he used to the outside centre berth, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do on the wing today.
Namibia, well, they have 287 caps at international level. And watch out for their fullback Christopher Aris, who made his debut all the way back in 2013. He's only played 1 test match for Namibia, but unfortunately for him, after that test match, he played in an under-20 game and suffered a very catastrophic injury, and he has recovered. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes. Johan Tromp as well, the right winger, has scored plenty of tries for Namibia, 19. Their centre combination there of Daryl De La Harp and JC Khrading. De La Harp is the captain. PJ Walters, an unknown player, played a bit of rugby for UJ, and it'll be interesting to see how he goes. And then the experience in their halfback combination of Eugene Yankees, who is the most capped Namibian player of all time. Their 10, Cliven Loubser, is a point-scoring machine. Their loose trio there of the Neve Damens and Christo van der Merwe. Also, Max Kajijeko scored Namibia's only try against Argentina under-20s on Tuesday out at Paul Gym. And then their lock combination, they were pretty industrious. Ruan Ludek and Maipisa Jericho. And then their front row of Rademeyer, Neil van Vuren and de Klerk. On the bench as well, they've got some experience. Watch out for PW Steenkamp and JC Winkler, as well as Jan Ray de Toy, and also watch out for the big prop in Vrygang.
Less changes for the Namibians. They brought fewer players over to South Africa to compete in this series. And they want to see some continuity in the way they play and also in the way they select their team. So Coach Phil Davies made a couple of changes, but not too many. It will be interesting to see how the side goes and if they can put out the improved performance from the one on Wednesday.
Also, Andries, we're used to seeing the Junior Springboks almost have a slow start to their season, and knowing that, they've been together for longer than last year, it certainly showed against Georgia, where they scored plenty of tries in that 58 points to 10 victory on Tuesday.
Yeah, they played really well. They played the conditions well as well. It was always going to be a physical match against Georgia, and they fronted up physically. They matched them physically, and that showed on the scoreboard at the end of the day. On the attack, Justin, we mentioned it during the game, they weren't that good. What they did do very, very well was every time they got an opportunity, they made use of that opportunity and they scored some points, they scored some tries. So that was promising from the junior box, but they'd want to see improved attacking performance. They'd also want to see their processes going into shape a bit more and get some go forward from the way they're playing rugby, not clearly by getting opportunities that the opposition provide them.
And then on other end of the spectrum, Namibia, they really struggled against Los Pumitas, Argentina under 20, and perhaps that was just because it was their first game of the season, and hopefully they'll be better today.
Yeah, they struggled against Argentina, but it has to be mentioned that Argentina were exceptional in the way they played. They have a very well-structured, well-coached team. They were quick with ball in hand. They took the yards going forward, and defensively they were strong as well. So the Namibians were up against it, but like we mentioned, first game out for Namibia. They're still building towards the World Cup. They still got plenty of matches before they reach Japan in September. So a lot to work for this Namibian side.
So there in picture is Cliven Loubser, the experienced Namibian fly-off, already 144 points and 4 tries to his name, just 22 years of age. And the Springboks, the Junior Springboks, being led out by Pepsi Buthelezi. And it's always special representing your country. And it's a fine crop of players. Big number 5 there in Swanepoel, who was scored at Stellenberg, scored a try off the bench against Georgia. Watch out for Putki to the right winger. And the ref today is Divan Ace, who is an admitted attorney.
He'll know how to make the correct calls then, Justin.
Loubser, and we're underway here at the Tygerberg Rugby Club. And it's untidy from the onset. Nohamba assesses his options and goes the box kick. It's well taken by the fullback, Chris Aris. He'll be really happy that he's back in a Namibian jumper. And the big question is, have Namibia settled down since that big loss against Los Pumitas? Kutsa tries to tap it back.
Knock on.
Good start for the junior box. A slightly messy kick receipt from the kickoff. Good kick and chase, forcing the turnover with the scrum within on the halfway line, and a reasonable start for the junior box.
So Masuka, Johan van Sail and Hanro Jacobs in the front row up against Radamea, Van Vuren and de Klerk of Namibia.
Bind. Set. Okay, let's set it up again.
It's very wet underfoot, Justin. We can expect a lot of these scrums going down, and it's going to be a difficult area of the game for referees to manage. It's something that we don't like to see. We don't want to see resets. We want to see the ball in play and see the boys enjoy themselves, but this certainly will be a challenge for everyone involved in the scrum.
Buthelezi to Nohamba, and crashing it up is Molense, the inside centre. So getting over the advantage line wall. Yes, Swanepoel. Nohamba trying to put Van Sale beautifully through the hole, and he does. Yes, Hanru Jacobs, great skill by the tight head prop. The Junior Springboks looking dangerous. A tap pass there from JC Knoll to Job.
Okay, you're off. Step.
Nohamba to Jacobs.
No, you were tackled.
Henry Jacobs deemed not to have released the ball after being tackled and penalised, rightly so, by referee Ace. Encouraging starts by the junior box. It's just worth the mention, Dashin. Henry Jacobs, started prop, feet, can tackle, he can offload, he can do just about everything, and he is an exciting prospect for the future.
It's a great kick there by Loebscher.
Lose on
To
the line.
throw
Get
will
your
be
line.
Van Vuren. He's
Yeah,
really
this is the
keen
middle,
for
there
this
you
line out as the rest of his pack slowly join. Ludek tries to gather, and it's been pinched. Here's Pepsi Buthelezi, the skipper. Great offload to Van Sale, and here's Ivan Ruus. So looking pretty good in these conditions so far. Swanepoel, Nohamba to Kutsa, and then great pass there from Molense. Here's Richardson, the new kid. Nohamba. And Jacobs has really tackled well there.
Don't
Nohamba with a tap and go. He's not messing around. Great ball there to Potgieter.
That's not acceptable. Number four is just flying off his feet.
Unfortunate for the junior box. Good play by both Manus, Potgieter and Nohamba, getting the box on the front foot. And Emil van Heerden, son of ex-Springbok or ex-rugby player Fritz van Heerden, going off his feet, turning over the ball. Penalty to Namibia. They've been under the cosh. They've been under a lot of pressure, Justin. The junior box show that if they keep the ball in hand, they can be extremely dangerous.
And that ball's not out. Here's Job. What can he do? The left winger. Silken slippers there. And he makes good ground. Crashing onto it is Richardson. And he loses the pull. So Namibia doing well to not concede any points inside this opening 5 minutes. Yankees are looking for space. Amani Kota, the devastating fullback. He takes contact. Nohamba to Buthelezi. And they'll have to watch him.
Get back.
Here's Ruus. And goes for the offload. It was the right idea, but good defense from Namibia.
It's important for the junior box to not want to play touches, Justin. They came off a good win against Georgia, and they looked at the video footage of Argentina taking this Namibian side apart. But it's important for them to stick to their structures and to build an innings, to not try and hit sixes from the start. Build your innings, get into it, get the scoreboard ticking, build the scoreboard pressure, and by doing so, putting the Namibians under pressure. Namibia, and in defense, they've been good, they've been solid, they've made their tackles.
So Eugene, Yankees.
No.
Messi at scrum time.
Interesting on the setup of the
hold
Namibian
your
backline
weight,
off
and we're
screen.
not
They're
close to
extremely
2
flat
seconds.
and close in together. No chance of this ball going anywhere past the first upright. As we look at it, defensively for South Africa, they can stand a bit tighter and get off the line extremely hard in these circumstances.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
And Namibia get a penalty, so they can look to enter into the Springboks half and set up an attack for the first time.
Oh, well, Jacobus de Klerk had the biggest smile on his face anyone can imagine after getting up from that scrum, seeing that he had received the penalty. And that's what the tight forwards like to do, Justin. Those front row forwards, all they want to do is scrum, and if they have to make a tackle, they do it. But ultimately, what they're here for is to scrum.
For you.
So Van Vuren to throw. 6 tests for Namibia. And up forward there was Kachijeko. And Namibia getting some momentum. And Yankees clever play there to Tromp, who hacks it ahead. And there's an opportunity here. And Kota to the rescue. Relieves some pressure.
Kota did exceptionally well to relieve the pressure off the junior box there, but tremendous stuff by Namibia. And it's the first time in this match that they've had their hands on the ball and they put the junior box under a lot of pressure.
Open up.
Yankees up the blind side. Smart kick in behind, and Kota doing extremely well to get back and save the day for the junior box.
Taken by Kachijeko. So Namibia, are they in the mood? Van Vuren, the hooker. And if they can get the opening try, they'll be in a dangerous position. Yankees to Loubser, spreading the ball wide. Beautiful out the door, back pass here to PJ Walters. He's a big feather, the left winger. Yankees, Loubser, Jericho. Loubser, great stepping. And then the captain, De La Harpe, lets it go. And the junior box can be devastating on counter-attack. It's Richardson. And Tromp is under it. And he sets off on a journey, finds his captain, De La Harpe, who bounces straight into Richardson. So Namibia are looking a lot better than what they were on Tuesday against Los Pumitas. Kachijeko getting through a lot of work. The blindside flanker. Yankees using his experience. Kutsa. And that is a massive collision there. JC Khreiding with a great tackle.
You can certainly see that Namibians are up for this match, Josh, and they would not have taken that defeat on Tuesday lightly, and they certainly are showing that in the first 10 minutes of this game. Just worth a mention, both teams have to resist the temptation of opening up this game too soon. If that is going to be the case, we're going to see an extremely messy game with balls being turned over left, right and centre. So both sides, look at the turnover or the highlight here of a massive tackle by JC Khreiding on Andrew Kota. Yeah, so like I mentioned, Justin, we want to see these teams build the structures, keep hold of the ball and play the percentages.
Just a mess. Let's set it up again.
So Divan Ace having a lot of work to do, the referee today at scrum time.
Both sides now. Wait for the ball and no gap on bind.
And Yankees.
Bind. Set.
So much experience, 66 tests. Loubser, yes, Aris, and Walters, the juggernauts with the chip and chase. And it's a simple one here for Kutsa. And he does really well. The pivot. And JC Knoll, he also has a massive boot to the outside centre. And Namibia now looking to respond with a Gary Owen. Johan Tromp looking forward, and it's picked up by the hooker in Van Vuren. Christo van der Merwe with good ruck work. A great ball to JC Grayling from Loubser. And Namibia, Tromp.
Knock on, no advantage.
Frenetic stuff, Justin. Ball going both ways, and it's quite evident that Namibia are going to use, they will use the kick pass to get in behind South Africa. They've done it on numerous occasions when they have the ball on the front foot to just kick it in behind the junior box defence and then put some pressure on them. Junior box also playing with the wind at their sails. They've got it from behind, and they're not really making use of the moment.
Well, coachman Phil Davies, the Welsh coach of Namibia, you'll be really happy so far with this opening 13 minutes. And can his side get on the board here? Van Vuren, Ludic, trying some fancy work. And will it pay off? That time it was de Klerk. Yankees freeing it away to Jericho. Just composing his troops. That time it was Damens. Yankees comes on the short side to Tromp.
7, 10 and 12. All offside, 7, 10 and 12.
Junior box under some pressure, and now the mistakes are creeping in. Defensively, they're being put under a tremendous amount of strain and now giving away penalties. Worth a mention was a great spot tackle by Sebastian Jopp on the blind side. An opportunity here for Namibia to put the first points on the board. It will be a low-scoring affair today, Justin, especially with these conditions that we have out here, and also a Namibian side that really look like they want to front up today.
Just don't go anywhere. The next game after this is Los Pumitas, Argentina under-20s taking on Georgia under-20s and the Junior Lelos. Still plenty of action as we await the opening try of the second day of the Under-20 International Series. And David Kutzer just receiving some attention. He was really good, Andries, on Tuesday against Georgia.
He is a neat little player, is David Kutzer. Not the biggest man on the field, small, compact, but extremely powerful and not scared to take on the defensive line. That's what I enjoy about him the most, is his willingness to take the defense on and to have a crack. And that's so important for a fly-half, and especially a fly-half in his position where, tactically kicking-wise, he isn't really that strong. It's not a part of his game that he really portrays and shows out there on the field. What he does like to do is to take on the defense and keep the ball in hand, and he does that tremendously well.
And it's been a great turnout as well so far. A treat for the locals. Namibia looked like they've put on Janray de Toy on the right wing there at 23. Yankees goes left to Loubser with a dummy switch. Good play by the fly-off. Namibia really have a good opportunity to cash in. Certainly showing hunger, and Emil van Heerden with a terrific steal. A much needed one for the Junior Springboks. Nohamba, it's a difficult one. And it was a great touch finder there by the number 9.
That's a tremendous kick by Nohamba into the wind under a lot of pressure. managed to gain about 25 meters for his side. But what a steal, Emil van Heerden. In the contact, upper body strength to get that ball away in the hands of the Junior Boks.
So Van Vuren, he's all ready to go. We're waiting for the call from the rest of his pack. Ludic. And that is a pity for Namibia.
It is a pity. They've played all the rugby the last 10 minutes, or last 6 at least, Justin. They've really looked decent with ball in hand. They put the Junior Boks under some pressure, and they've really deserved to come away with some points.
Chris Aris, he was a player earlier who I mentioned, has only one test, that one coming in 2013.
Fine.
In for Chrysander Botha, the experienced fullback. Buthelezi goes blind to Nohamba. With an educated kick downtown. And Aris has to come to the rescue. And now the pressure is back on Namibia.
Yeah, that's a good result for the Junior Boks. You mentioned Aris positionally just being found out of space, out of place, I might say. And Nohamba seeing that and putting a very good kick into the corner, and great chase by Marnus Potgieter to get the ball back for South Africa.
Buthelezi. And again, it's messy at line-out time. So both sides making errors in this opening 18 minutes. And that's not a great kick. Buthelezi, and it's been intercepted by the captain, Taylor Hop, the big number 12, but he has no support, and he's tackled by Kota. Works the short side, Yankees, brilliantly done to Van der Merwe. So Namibia looking full of running, and you can just sense that they're a lot more confident than what they were against Los Pumitas. Loubser gives it to Greiling. Yankees with a skip pass to Aris. And it's gone forward. But Namibia, Andries, looking full of running. And you can see that they really want to get the opening score in this game.
Yeah, they're just playing off the Junior Boks mistakes at the moment. Fantastic opportunity for the Junior Boks to launch an attack from. Unfortunately, turned it over, and then tremendous play by Namibia. Unfortunately, Aris trying to get the ball in behind the Junior Boks, not managing to make contact with that kick. But again, a 60-meter swing from a South African mistake, putting them under a lot of pressure, and also preventing the South Africans from building some sort of momentum and putting some sort of pressure on Namibia.
Fine. Set.
Nohamba. Kutsa looking to put the pressure on Namibia, and Aris makes life difficult for himself, but he recovers well. And that time it was Janre de Toy with the clearance.
Janre de Toy with the clearance, but unfortunately that was deemed to have been carried back into the 22-meter area of Namibia. So line out, Junior Boks 2 meters inside Namibia and 22.
Jan van Zyl to Van Heerden, Nohamba. Here we go. Molense, the inside centre with the crash ball. Nohamba, JC Knoll hitting that one at pace, but he couldn't gather.
A good line by Jason Knoll. Unfortunate, couldn't hold on to that. And those are the small little mistakes that are preventing South Africa from getting into this match. We're 20 minutes into it, halfway into the first half, Justin. We've not really seen a lot from either side. Namibia have looked exciting when they do get the opportunity, but most of those opportunities came off the mistakes of the Junior Boks.
Of course, there's a third and final day of the series out at Paul Roos on Wednesday afternoon. Damens to Yankees. And that is a great kick from the veteran.
A great result for Namibia and a good kick by Yankees. With all that experience, we mentioned it earlier, Namibia playing into a slight breeze here. And they could be very chuffed with that.
Sebastian Job from Dana Foltz in Uppington. Yankees really looks relaxed. Great ball there from Loubser to Damens. And Evan Ruiz getting some ball. Buthelezi to Richardson. And it's been ripped again. That time was Jericho and then Dilla Hop. Looks for space, but he finds the electrifying Kota. So the big question out here at Tygerberg Rugby Club is who wants to score the first try?
Yes, who wants to score the first try, but more importantly, Justin, who wants to win this match the most? Now, at the moment, it's very, very even. Both teams showing some sort of excitement when they have the ball in hand, and also both sides realizing that the ball is slippery. We can rip this from the attacking player.
So Loubser looking for his kicking device. That's taking an age to come to him. And for Namibia, it's a chance now to draw first blood. And considering his experience at test level, you'd expect him to open the account here.
Not an easy kick first up for Cleven Loubser, straight into the teeth of the wind. Just about 40 meters out on a slight angle.
It's a magnificent kick from the fly-off. Cleven Loubser, Namibia 3, South Africa under 20 0 after 24 minutes. And Namibia on Reese, well, they really look like a different team to what they were on Tuesday.
Yeah, that truly was a magnificent kick by Cleven Loubser, straight into the teeth of the wind. And they really deserve the 3-point lead that they have at the moment, 25 minutes into it. Junior Springboks not being clinical enough when they do have the ball in hand, allowing the Namibians to turn them over. And then the Namibians have made use of the conditions and kicked the ball in behind.
Difficult one there for the toy. So Evan Ruiz gets the turnover.
Step.
And that will really irritate Coach Paul Davis.
It's obstruction, but no advantage for the knock.
That will irritate Coach Phil Davis. You've just put it on 3 points. You've worked 25 minutes to get them. And from the kickoff, you give the ball straight back to the Junior Springboks on your own 22-meter line.
Van Heerden and Swanepoel. And the crowd, well, they're awaiting the first try. And it looks like they desperately need it. They want the party to start here out at Tygerberg Rugby Club in the northern suburbs.
Bind. Set.
Great platform. Buthelezi, the skipper. So much strength. Nohamba with a good ball there to Richardson. And this time he doesn't lose it. In the red zone, Nohamba. Here's Masuku. Nohamba back on the inside to Jacobs. Hanro Jacobs. Namibia with great defense. Masuku, the loose head prop. Really close here. Richardson scores and gets the opening try for the Junior Springboks.
Yeah, that's what we've been waiting to see from the Junior Boks, for the forward to roll up their sleeves, to put the hard graft in to get them over the whitewash. Good carry first up by Pepsi Buthelezi to get them on the front foot, and this man, Dylan Richardson, with another strong carry, and then eventually being rewarded by the try. But this is what we wanted to see. The back end, Henry Jacobs, he has been lethal this close to the try line at schoolboy level, and certainly will be in the years to come. And this is what you need. You need a pack of forwards that are willing to work hard for each other, get around the corner and really outwork the defense. Dylan Richardson, he'd be happy with that. And David Kutzer adding the extra 2. So all of a sudden, South Africa 7, Namibia 3.
It's taken a while, and it's been a great response since conceding at 3 points. Dylan Richardson, who was schooled at Kearsney, one of 2 Kearsney players in the Junior Springboks setup. The other one is Sangweni. Lopsha sends it into the 22. And that's a great clearance there.
Yeah, that's decent enough by Nohomba. Received the ball, taking no chances, used the wind, kick it into the touch, and put the Namibian line out under some pressure. Emil van Heerden, all 2 meters of him, also Janku Swanepoel. They'd be licking their lips for this opportunity.
So almost a half an hour gone. Divanes, the ref, has had a lot of work to do, and it's an overthrow here to Jacobs, the Grizzly Bear. You don't want to give him free ball like this. A great carry. Nohamba back on the inside to his fellow player who was schooled at DHS. And Namibia have a chance now, and they've cleared well.
Right back where we started. Turnover from the line-out ball, and Pepsi Buthelezi almost into space, just, and unfortunately couldn't hold on to that. 1 minute down, exactly where we started.
The Junior Springboks managed to get it. Molense, the inside centre, gaining yards. Nohamba hitting the line is Van Sale. Nohamba looking very elusive at number 9. And here's Buthelezi, the inspirational skipper. He is still going. What a unit. Pepsi Buthelezi, just short. Some inspiration shown. And in return, Namibia recovering tremendously well. So Buthelezi, such a barnstorming run. Somehow Namibia dodging a bullet, but in the end they give away a penalty.
Yeah, Dylan Richardson, he's been good in the last 5 minutes, scored a try, forced a turnover and made a couple of line breaks. What a run by Pepsi Buthelezi. Extremely powerful young individual, already played 5 Super Rugby matches for the Sharks. A sight to behold, Pepsi Buthelezi, and also one to look out for in the future. Unfortunately, yeah, not being able to get enough numbers to the ball were the Junior Boks and turned over. Worth a mention, Justin Joe van Sale at hooker for the Junior Boks has been immense. He's carried strongly, his lineouts have been good, and his basic skills have just shone out. Extremely good young rugby player.
So can the Junior Springboks take advantage of that surging run by their skipper? About 8 minutes to go before half time.
Fine. Set. Stay.
Nohamba to Kutsa, who's looking for his second try of the series. Nohamba to Emil van Heerden.
Made the tackle.
Masuku, the loose head prop, and he is hauled up. So Namibia with good defense, but they'll only be able to defend for so long.
Yeah, good defense by Namibia under a lot of pressure, keeping the Junior Boks out. And this is what the Junior Boks did well in their previous match. They didn't necessarily attack all that well, but when they had opportunities, they managed to score tries. And in this match, funnily enough, Justin, conditions not that great. The attack has been slightly better than it was in the first match, but they've not managed to score as many points as they did. But again, another great opportunity for them to get onto the scoreboard.
Look at the height difference there between Ludik and Nohamba. The Namibian lock. A big boy. And it's a very intimate setting out here at Tygerberg Rugby Club. And the weather hasn't kept the crowd away. Molense and JC Unol.
Two big units in the midfield from Otanikwa and Oakdale respectively, the two midfielders for the Junior Boks.
Nohamba with the feed. Buthelezi to Nohamba with a skip ball, and it's been intercepted. Here's Della Harp. It's actually PJ Walters, the left winger. Amazing stuff from the unknown player who played some rugby at UJ, and he scores, Andries, a vital try for Namibia.
PJ Walters went all 100 meters that you'd expect. Almost got reeled in by the Junior Boks, but well-deserved 5-pointer for his team and completely against the run of play. A happy bench for the Namibian side, and Pepsi Buthelezi initially thought was going slightly across the field, and that pass just set up nicely for the left winger, PJ Walters. At one stage it looked like he was going to run out of wheels, but enough determination by the young man to take him the full 80 meters. JC now with a last gasp effort.
A big unit with a lot of pace. And now the game is really on as Namibia take the lead. And what a read that was by PJ Walters.
Important time of the game for them to score just before half time or 5 minutes before the break. Extremely crucial for them to get some points on the board, take the lead. They managed to keep this lead into the break. They're starting the second half with all the momentum on their side, and so much is being said about momentum by everybody. It does make a difference. It can change quite quickly, but if you start the second half with the wind behind your sails, it certainly does help.
So Loubser will have to hurry up here. Wasn't a bad strike, but he can't add the extras. So Namibia 8, SA under 27. PJ Walters giving Namibia a lead here just before half time. And this is not going to be An easy road for the Junior Springboks. Job trying to gather that.
Not yet panic stations for the Junior Boks. They've not played particularly well. The conditions don't really favour an expansive game of rugby. And they found themselves 8-7 down with 5 minutes to go in the first half, but completely against the run of play. They have looked dominant in the more structured play of the game. So all they need to do is stick to what they know, stick to their processes, and then just keep grinding this game out.
Short arm.
Short arm. Scrum called again.
So 8 points to 7. And Namibia, or coach Phil Davis, will be thinking, can they keep the lead going into half time? It's a good scrum. The captain, Dilla Harp, with a courageous carry. Yankees to Jericho. Yankees really in control at the back. Very relaxed. And Van Heerden gets it back for the Junior Springboks. Buthelezi with the don't argue. Namibia tackling him well this time. Kutsa trying to find space, which he does with a flashy ball. This is majestic, and Molensa takes the Springboks back into the lead. Cracking stuff there.
Tremendous stuff by the Junior Boks, and great play by young David Kutsa. We mentioned it earlier, Justin. He loves taking the ball to the line, and he certainly did in that instance. Got the off break or the full break, I might say. Look at this boy, show and go. Gets through the gap. And a sneaky pass to James Molensa, who's over for his second try of the series and the first one of the match. And that's exactly what the Junior Boks needed, some points just before the break.
Well, in about 13 minutes, we've seen 20 points. 2 tries to the Junior Springboks and an intercept try for PJ Walters of Namibia. And this will be a tester for Kutsa. Laced in silver from the fly of Kutsa. SA under 2014, Namibia 8.
James Molensa has a knack of scoring tries. He seems to score on every game he's played. We watched him in a warm-up against the Stormers, or the Western Province SuperSport Challenge team. Scored a great try in that match. Scored one in the previous one, another try this afternoon.
Nohamba. And a very good kick. And that's half time. So SA under 2014, Namibia 8. 25 minutes of no points. And then the Springboks managed to score one through their blindside flanker in Richardson. And then in return, it was PJ Walters with an intercept try for Namibia. And then we saw a piece of magic there from Kutsa, who set up Molense for the Junior Springboks' second try. Andries, thoughts?
slightly messy start in this game. 20 minutes went by without not seeing a lot of rugby being played, a lot of mistakes from both sides. Then all of a sudden, we get some points on the board, and then 20 minutes later, 3 tries had been scored. So from the Junior Box perspective, they'd be happy with taking a 14 to 8 point lead into the half-time break, but not extremely happy by the way they got there. Namibia on the other side, they'd be happy with the way they played. They've improved leaps and bounds from what they were like on Tuesday, and they'd want to keep on building from this.
I was fortunate enough to go to the Good Work Foundation, and I was so inspired and I was so impressed, and I'm not easily impressed.
The model that GWF has created is one where we take young adult school into the world of work, into enterprises that we've created through career academies that are relevant for the economy around here, and the profits generated from those enterprises feed back into the open learning or the children's program, which then re-enters the district of education in the area.
You get a real sense of the scale at which it reaches, and it's doing so much good.
Fantastic initiative there by Investec. Please go to the comments section and description of the stream to donate to the cause. We lose over 1,000 rhinos a year, and it's just a fantastic thing to see what Investec are doing. We back here at halftime. Louis Kuhn just giving some orders out to his players. And Andries, Namibia, they're a lot better than what they were against Los Pumitas. They're in the game here.
They certainly are. They've played a tremendous amount better than what they were like against the Argentinian side on Tuesday and Paul. And it's just a testament to the fact to what some continuity can do for a team. They've played together one match. They came in the second one. They've showed some improvement. On the Junior Box side, they've almost changed the entire side, and it's as if it's taken them some time to get into this match. Having said that, the conditions aren't favourable for expansive game today, and that's something they have to learn to adapt to and to play the conditions, because ultimately it's one thing you can't control all the conditions, so you have to be able to adapt to those.
This is the second day of a 3-day series. After this, we have Los Pumitas taking on Georgia under 20s. And then also don't forget about Wednesday out at Polrus Gymnasium. where we have Namibia's open side taking on Georgia. And then afterwards, which will certainly be a cracker, Andries, is the Junior Springboks taking on Argentina.
Yeah, that will definitely be a cracker in Paul Roos, the final match of the series. So look at the first try scored by South Africa. The young man, Dylan Richardson, getting over for a 5-pointer. And that is what this game has been like, a real hard graft for both teams. Forwards having to work extremely hard, and backs having to live off some scraps.
And the crowd enjoying their Saturday. And Louis Kuhn hasn't stopped.
Intercept by PJ Walters going for full 80 meters. And just on the build up to that try, Pepsi Buthelezi picking the ball up at 8th man, going slightly across the field and not taking the ball ever so slightly forward, which in turn causes Nohamba to go even further backwards and making it easy for Namibia to come in and read that pass. That was against the run of play, and this was a tremendous stuff by David Kutsa. Young, explosive flyer, cheeky pass out to James Molense, who enjoys scoring tries, getting onto the scoreboard once again, giving South Africa a 14-8 lead. And that was an important score right there, Justin. Had they not managed to score a try there, Namibia would have gone into the second half, win at their tails, and also the lead on the scoreboard. We had a look at Sean Roos speaking to his troops at halftime. There's sure to be some changes in the team coming back, and a lot of hard work in front of these youngsters.
And also, Andries, it's vital that SA Under 20 put in a good performance, because on Wednesday they've got Los Pumitas as well.
Yes, they want to take some confidence into that match. The Pumas were tremendous on Tuesday against this Namibian side. Every time they touched the ball, it seemed like they scored tries or at least made 40 meters on the field. Their backline was exceptionally well coached, looked like a well-drilled machine. The timing of their runs and their passes were good, and their pack of fours, like always in Argentinian sides, were extremely powerful in the scrum and also in the line-out. They've got some strong ball carriers and some blitzy blackline players. So it will be a challenge for the Junior Boks when they take them on in Paul Roos or in Stellenbosch later on in this week. But at the moment, they have to focus on the next 40 minutes, or the 40 minutes ahead of them now. They have to make sure that they get everything they can out of this match. And you'd expect the coaches to just implore them to go back to their structures, go back to the basics, take the easy yards, go straight forward, take the easy yards, and then make the ball do the work once you've managed to breach the gain line.
Well, the locals really enjoying it out here at Tygerberg Rugby Club. And there's still plenty of action. You see JC Null in picture there, as well as the right winger in Manus Porchida. And JC Null, although playing an outside centre, also has a terrific boots.
It's just interesting, JC Null in the outside centre and Manus Porchida playing on the 14. The two of them combined for the Bulls at 12 and 13 during the season, and both of them exceptionally powerful rugby players. JC Null, like you mentioned, has got a good boot of him, the former Oakdale student. So interesting combinations being tried out by the coaches. This won't necessarily be the teams going to the World Cup or the team taking on the World Cup or playing the New Zealand team or ever in the World Cup final if they manage to get there. So combinations being tested, but interesting to see a midfielder tried out on the wing.
Almost ready to go here in the second half. SA Under 20 14, Namibia 8. Who wants it more? Kutsa. The hanging kick. A contestable one. And Namibia are lucky to get that back. It's a good carry there from the hooker Van Vuren. Yankees looking everywhere. Gives it to the veteran Lopsha. Kota. Tries to Solidami. Nohamba to Richardson. And that is a great spot tackle by Damens. Nohamba. And Kutsa tries to find touch. Some flashy footwork there from Aris to Janre de Toy. And here's Yankees. They're throwing the ball around here in Namibia. But they have to do it at their own peril. Because you don't want to give the ball away to the Junior Springboks in this part of the field. And Lopsha. That's not Art. Kota. And Kutsa has to backtrack there. But he sets off with a beautiful show and go. The number 10. And then gets it to Nohamba. And that is scintillating stuff. Kutsa and Nohamba combining tremendously well to get the Junior Springboks third try of the game.
David Kutsa has been instrumental to the build-up to both the last two tries scored by the Junior Boks, and Nohamba, where every single good stromer has to be, is there for the inside pass. Tremendous stuff by the Junior Boks. Not the best pass by Kota. David Kutsa letting it go. And this is exceptional, powerful stuff. Burst of pace to get into behind the Namibian boys, and another sneaky offload on the inside to Nohamba. Massive smile on his face, the young man, over for the 5 points.
So the Junior Springboks getting in their stride.
What the doctor ordered also, Justin, they struggled for 35 minutes in this match. Managed to score a try just before halftime, and then immediately after halftime scored another one. And that is what kills opposition sides. You score just before halftime, take the lead, straight after halftime, score another try, put them under pressure, make it extremely tough for them.
Kutsa drags that one. So SA under 20, 19, Namibia 8. Just over 3 minutes gone in the second half, and it was a great start for the Junior Springboks in the second half. Now they've got a little bit of a buffer. Namibia need to be the next team to score, just to keep the confidence under so they can win this game.
Yeah, and Namibia ideally want to score next if they don't want this game to run away with them.
Molense, he finds the captain, Adela Harp, and he just shrugs him out the tackle. Great offload. Yes, Evan Roos. This kid is a sensation. Look at him go. A great run by the open side flanker. Looking alive in the second half.
And as a coach, that is what you don't want to see. You've just conceded points, kicked off, and almost instantly the Junior Boks back on the attack.
Looking relentless, Nohamba, Hanru Jacobs. Nohamba to Kutsa, and he's really starting to light up the fly off. And then Nohamba, well, he's lucky. It's play on. And here's Molense finding space. Will he do it himself? He does. And this man, Henri's, what a player.
Playing really well at the moment is James Molense. Takes the ball to the line hard. He started this whole movement with a bust up the middle from the kickoff. James Molense getting rewarded with a try at the end. Extremely powerful runner is James Molense as we look at the replay. And this is just the back end of the build up to the stride. James Molense seeing some space. De La Harp couldn't keep up with the pace of him. A little show of the ball. One stage you thought he just feed Manus Potgieter for the easy finish, but he did it all himself. The James Molense. Another try, second one for the match.
And 3 tries in the series. Kutsa now with another difficult kick. And after the game being so tight at half time, 6 minutes in, and the Junior Springboks are well into the lead.
The juice at halftime must have worked, Justin. Either that or the chat by the coaches, but something kicked this Junior box side into gear, and they certainly are playing a lot better in the start of the second half.
And that was a perler of a kick by David Kutsa. He's really making the number 10 jersey in this side his home. Of course, he's the only born and bred fly half in the side.
How do you become born a fly half, Justin?
Genetics.
Must be, but must say, worth the mention, David Kutsa, important for the Junior box to have someone that can kick the points from the tee, and he certainly has improved in that aspect of his game.
Nohamba. That time giving it to Van Sail. He's had a good shift. And Namibia, well, they need to wake up quickly. And here's Aris. And he gives the ball away to Job. 26 points to 8. Junior Springboks in the lead. And Potgieter is giving chase. Greatly done there by Loubser. Really did well. He was under pressure. Yankees gives it to the captain, De La Harp. Running into Evan Ruiz.
Step.
And Josep is on the field. The flanker. Kajijeko. Met hard in the tackle there. Loubser. Great offload there from Aris to Janre de Toy, who's looking for support. Pops it beautifully to Damens. Namibia, can they get back into the game?
Step.
It's a perfect opportunity. De La Harp with a great ball here to Kutsov. Greiling works the short side to Josep. The pick and go from Van Vuren. So some good play here from Namibia. Great ball from Ludek there. Yankees. It's Kajijeko again. Yankees. Kutsov with another carry.
No advantage. 7 offside.
Good attack by Namibia, kept hold of the ball for quite some phases, putting the Junior Springbok defence under some pressure and then forcing that penalty. That penalty comes from off the back of pressures. We look at Manus Potgieter, who made a couple of tackles in the build-up to that penalty. Conditions have improved slightly, Justin. We haven't seen some rain for about an hour now, and the ball seems to have dried up a bit, and the underfoot conditions also improving slightly.
Springboks making a change here. Thakio Abrams, a dangerous outside back, coming onto the field. And Namibia, well, they really need to make use of this opportunity. They score here, they're not out of it.
Set. Force available.
Yankees to Loubser to De La Harp. Yankees again, Richardson. Trying to defend for his life. And that's another penalty.
This will test the character of the junior box. Under a bit of pressure, under the pump. Certainly good play by Namibia, but this will test the character of the junior box. And so much can be read into a team's character by the way they defend their own try line, how hard they fight for each other to keep the opposition from scoring tries.
So Van Vuren, can he deliver at line-out time? Can they strike? The line-out looks good. Some sneaky moves here. And Walters looking for a second. And that was a great effort by the left winger.
Yeah, great effort by Walters and almost caught the junior box off guard there. Sneaky move by Namibia, getting Walters into space. And David Kutsa, nuggety fly half of the junior box, doing tremendously well to keep the ball off the floor.
So Namibia really in the red zone here. In search of a much needed second try. Damens with a floaty ball. So De La Hop has to come to the rescue. Namibia losing momentum from that scrum. But they're still in a crucial position. And the Junior Springboks get a penalty, and they're out of trouble.
A great defense by the junior box. We just mentioned it, that this will test their character, and they've stood up to the challenge. Strong tackle by Evan Ruiz, and then his back row partner getting over for the steal.
Kutsa, the good touch finder there. So what card will the Junior Springboks play at this line-out? Ringing on the changes on his big Asanati Intlabakanye, the ambulance at the back of the line-out.
Big man is Asanati, and he is also a character within this junior box side. He gets the guys going. He's one of the boys that keep them on their feet. He keeps the energy going in this pack of forwards, and it's great to see him back on the park.
Emil van Heerden with a great take there. Van Sale is at the back. He pops it to Evan Ruiz, who gives it to Richardson, the flanker. Gaining valuable yards. And they gain a valuable penalty. Nohamba wastes no time. There was a great tap and go. Richardson to Molense, who's really been the star of the show. The ambulance has a carry. Intlabakanye. What a unit. Kutsa. He's not afraid to take it to the line. And that combination of Kutsa and Molense has really been impressive. And it's a sign of things to come later in the year. Here's Richardson, one of the try scorers. Intlabakanye doing some dog work there.
Okay, blue one.
There's Evan Ruiz. Kutsa with the chip,
No advantage, number
but he
one,
knew he had the
blue
penalty.
offside.
Good play by the junior box. Again, keeping the ball in hand through numerous phases and then forcing that penalty almost on Namibia. Encouraging stuff to see. Also David Kutsa again breaking the line. Not the biggest human being, but certainly is powerful enough to get through a couple of tackles. And now you can see the confidence in this team just rising in abundance.
It looks like Kutsa's getting replaced. He's put on a great performance. Buthelezi with the take. But an unforced error.
And that is the first mistake we've seen from Joe van Zyl. He's been very clinical in this game today. And interesting, Justin, with David Kutsa leaving the field, James Molense, he'll shift into the fly half berth with a number 12 jump on his back. And then JC Nell will go into the 12 position, and Marinus Potgieter, who's played on the wing, will fill in the 13 or the outside centre position.
Chance for Molense to get some experience at fly half.
Set.
And Winkler, the replacement scrum off feeds, getting some game time. De La Hop, who's tried all game, the number 12. Winkler to Loubser. And Takir Abrams, well, he's a pocket rocket, this one. He was schooled at Boys High. Nohamba, Ivan Ruiz. Molense. And Potgieter that time on the angle there. Just looking for an opening. It's Richardson again. Plenty of carries for the flanker. Nohamba. And Buthelezi. And Namibia have done well. Just stop the momentum there. Here's Van Zyl. And a try now would surely put Namibia out of the game. There's Intla Bakanya. Out the back it goes to Molense. Here's JC Null. Beautifully done by Abrams. And here we go. It's Sebastian Job. He plays like a runaway bullet, this fella.
Sebastian Job over for a 5-pointer. And we saw this in the previous match with the Junior Boks. As soon as they get some confidence and they have the, I want to say not confidence again, but as soon as they back themselves enough to get the ball through the hands, they do certainly look dangerous. Tremendous try by the young men. Look at the replay. Nohamba to Molense, and then a good line run by Marinus Potgieter, putting JC Nell into a bit of space. And then this young man with open try line, no one will stop him. Sebastian Job. Looks like he enjoys scoring tries.
His locals in Uppington will be going berserk. So Molense, can he add the extras? Doesn't manage that one, but it doesn't matter. SA under 20-31, Namibia 8, and there's still 21 minutes to go.
And the scoreline getting quite big in the case of Namibia. And the second half, the Junior Boks were just 100 times better than they were in the first 40.
And Brig Vrygang is on the field for Namibia, the number 17. Watch out for him. And also Mutan, number 24. So how many more tries do the Junior Springboks want to score? Or do Namibia still believe? Nohamba. Back to Molense. And that is a very, very, very decent clearance there from the inside centre, who's now playing at fly for the rest of the game. Difficult one for Nohamba. And here's JC Knoll. And here's Ruiz. Really controlling the game now. Molense knew he had the penalty. And Andre Swal and Namibia need to watch out here, because the Junior Springboks, when they get going, they really get going.
Yeah, the penalties are just creeping into the match for Namibia, and it must be the pressure that the Junior Boks are putting on them that are causing these penalties, and just trying to go that extra yard. Or the Namibian team, they're going to have to just settle down a little here, Justin. They've got the wind at their backs. Try and get the ball into their hands, kick it into the correct spaces, and then put South Africa under pressure.
Winkler finds Ludek, who finds 3 Junior Springboks. Winkler looking to relieve some pressure. Up for it brilliantly is Molense. And he's still going. What a wise man the inside centre is. Great pass there from Van Zyl. But Richardson showing some good fight, initially going back. Nohamba. Here's Buthelezi. It's a great thing for the Junior Springboks that they have 2 able captains in Franco Horn and also Buthelezi. Just so much depth. And Namibia get a penalty. They tap and go through Loubser. Oh, they're still here. Ludek. Buthelezi with a strong tackle. Winkler out the back. It's offside.
Offside.
Good play by Namibia. Again, just forcing that penalty with the pressure put on the Junior Boks, just creeping offside. Namibia have looked tremendous amount better than they did on Tuesday, Justin, with ball in hand. Defensively, they've been more organised. They just look like a better side today.
And that is a costly blow for Namibia. It just seemed, Andres, when they get into the right parts of the area of the field, they just seem to throw the ball away and give unnecessary advantage back to the opposition.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. Kick into the corner, went for a bit too much. Wind just pushed that into the dead ball area. Had that gone out on the 5, Justin, oh, it would be a tremendous kick, tremendous opportunity for them to get right back into this match. They do need to score first. If they score in the next 2 or 3 minutes, they go 15-31. There's a game on our hands. At the moment, the Boks just look like they've got the upper hand and the momentum physically, and they just look like they've settled into this match a lot better than the Namibian side.
Buthelezi controlling it at the back. So it'll be a free player. Nohamba to Molense. Floats the skip ball to Job. He lays it back. Nohamba to Buthelezi. The Junior Springboks. What do they have up their sleeves? Molense with the pop ball there to Swanepoel. Nohamba, he likes the tap and go. The feather, great ball there to Potgieter. And it's gone forward. Here's Janre de Toy. Namibia trying to find some space. Great work done there. But they're into touch. Unfortunately, for those of you at home, just remember to interact with us across all social media platforms.
6 and 7. Go.
Junior Boxers look like they want to speed up the pace of play at the moment. They're sensing that Namibia are tiring a bit towards the back end of the second half, and Nohamba forcing a quick tap every time he gets an opportunity.
Great play from JC Null. That time it was Gumere. Sidampilo Gumere. And then Lunga and Mube. Nohamba and Null popping up at first receiver. And that is a great penalty won there by the Prince, Josep.
A good steal by Josep, getting his team a well-deserved penalty. They've worked hard, Justin. The second half has not really gone their way, but Namibia have worked hard. They've kept at it. And they've given the South African boys something to play for.
This broadcast proudly brought to you by SuperSport Live with Twizzer. An absolute treat to watch this footage anywhere in the world. And remember, up next is the Junior Lelos, the Georgians, taking on Los Pumitas. Nokia. It was a difficult one for Damens, and this is where the Junior Boks are dangerous. Molense going for the miracle ball. So Namibia can count themselves lucky. And here's Ludek. Throws a dummy which no one buys. And it's play on. And Mutan. Not afraid of the dogfights. The winger. Ludek again. Runs straight into Buthelezi. They've got the advantage. Tap and go from Winkler, and he sets off. Showing some hunger here. The Valvechas. Nukir plays it scrum off. Steenkamp, Aris. Here's Mutan. To Lenib Damens. Works the tram lines. Kutsov laying it back. Winkler to Steenkamp, who finds a brilliant gap. What a run by PW Steenkamp. And it's a pity again because the Junior Springboks have it back. And Molense, well, he's having a field day. This kid is just pure magic. And JC Null. Oh, what a ball to job. This is electrifying stuff. It's Silempilo Gumere who scores.
How influential has James Molense been in this match, Justin? Every time he touches the ball, something seems to happen. Absolutely magic from the young man. Tremendous try by the Junior Boks. And again, another try Justin scored against the run of play. Namibia on the front foot. They forced the Africans into a funny position. Gave away 2 penalties, quick tap. Turnover by Takira Abrams, of all people. And then, yeah, we look at James Molense. Beats the first, shows the ball. He's got a bit of wheels on him, does the big man. Tremendous take, JC Null, the man from Oakdale. Offloading the inside. And you thought he'd finish it from there, but there he is. Selempilo Gumere with a meat pie.
The Terminator, I like to call him. Selempilo Gumere. SA Schools last year and 2 years ago. DHS captain last year as well. It's the same school that Buthelezi went to, and they produced some great loose forwards. So Namibia, they've still got 10 minutes. Can they cross for their second try? And it was a pity earlier, Andries, that man Steenkamp spotted a big gap, but he just didn't have the support.
Yeah, he caught everyone by surprise. Even his own teammates got into space and was known to clean on him, allowing Takira Abrams to turn over the ball that sets up that try by Selempilo Gumere.
So we've seen 6 tries from the Junior Springboks. Here we go. That time it was Mtleche, Nohamba, Molense. There's numbers on the left here. JC Knoll has a crack. Gives it to Thakia Abrams with a great offload there to Potgieter. So the party is coming alive here. Here's the ambulance. It's Labakanye with a tremendous carry. And in Mube, that time, the lock. Nohamba, the ambulance again with a run. He wants a try for himself. Nohamba with the tap and go. But the ref is having none of that.
Nohamba, naughty from the young man. He looks like he wants to have a go every time he gets an opportunity. But encouraging stuff by the Baby Box or the Junior Springboks, Justin. They've just looked 100 times better in the second half. They've got a lot of confidence with the ball in hand. They're moving the ball into space. They're taking the space in front of them when it is there. And if it's not there, they're attacking the ball, getting over the gain line, recycling the ball, and then moving into space when the opportunity does arise. Joe van Zyl in picture. Been extremely influential in this match and an exciting prospect for the future. And on the field at the moment, Jaden Hendrickse, former Glenwood boy, also tremendous cricketer.
So we see JC Knoll there at first receiver. Controlled wall at the back. And that is an unforced error. And Namibia breathe and they get the penalty. A bit of frustration there.
Yeah, Pepsi Bulelezi just being frustrated and telling the ref that it came off his foot. As we look at it, Baby Box under a bit of pressure. And then rightly so, rightly agreed with Pepsi Bulelezi, but you cannot speak to the referee like that, especially if he's an advocate. He'll put a judgment on to you, Justin.
That's what you call medical malpractice, which Divan Ace specializes in.
Nothing medical about that. Purely emotional, but it's good to see Divan Ace applying the laws of the game. And he's been good today, Justin. We've not mentioned him at all, and that's a sign of a referee having a good game. If you don't have to mention his name, you know he's had a decent game, and he's not been too influential in this game, but he certainly has allowed it to flow.
So, just under 7 minutes to go. The Junior Springboks in search of their 7th try. And they're really having a good time in the series. And it's another bust away there by Buthelezi. And unfortunately, going forward,
you do get the feeling that the Namibian side just tiring slightly towards the back end of the second half. And it looks like the Baby Box or the Junior Springboks have a bit more freedom to have a go. There's more space on the field and more cracks in the defence of the Namibian defensive system, allowing them to get over the gain line.
Andries as well, just in terms of fighting for your position in the team. The one thing as well is there's 35 players in this Junior Springboks team, and every minute is actually crucial that you're on the field.
Yeah, 35 players in the squad, 30 going on a tour to the UK later in the season, and then only 28 going to the World Cup, so a lot to play for still by these young men.
So Johan Tromp there in an unusual position. Thakia Abrams. Wow, what a step that is. Pure class from the outside back. Jaden Hendrickse. He had such a great game against Georgia on Tuesday. Out of Glenwood High School. A flashy inside ball there So are there more tries in the tank for the Junior Springboks? Molense, he knows what he's doing, and look what he does. Straight through a gap to Gumere. Ever so patient and gives it to Job. Looking for a second, and he gets a second. Sebastian Job scores an amazing try.
Good finish by Sebastian Job. He still had a lot of work to do to get over the whitewash. But again, that's that man, James Molense. Give him the ball. He'll make something happen. And at the moment, the Junior Springboks running away with this match. 43 points, playing 8, the kick to come. Again, James Molense, a lot of space in front of him, opting to have a go at the tightrope forwards himself. Into space, and Lepilo Gameda again with his hands on the ball. And at this moment you thought Namibians had it covered, but look at this. Sebastian Job using his footwork, his hands to get the fence off, and then over for 5 points.
Molense struggles again. But the Springboks in flying form here. They had a tight opening 25 minutes in this fixture. And since then, they've really got the show on the road. And Namibia getting some much, or almost getting some much needed possession.
It just hasn't gone their way in the second half from the get-go in the second half. They conceded that try, and ever since then the Junior Boks just kept on piling on the pressure, and that's shown on the scoreboard. 43 points to 8. At one stage it looked like we were going to turn 8-7 in favour of Namibia at half time.
Fine. Set.
Hendrikse feeds. Hitting the line hard is JC Null with a great offload to Dingaan. Hendrikse gives it to Swanepoel, the number 5. The good leg drive there.
Trap there. Green is moving forward. Green's got the scrum.
The Baby Boks just getting into their stride late in the second half. Not much to play for at the moment. They've already won this match, but still just going through the motions and making sure they're getting through all their plays and building confidence as this team will gel together in the games to come. Important for them to keep on building, keep on improving, to find that one switch or the one thing in the team that makes everyone pull in the same direction.
Gumere for change there, number 21, getting orders from, along with these other players, from Boudelezi. And that will probably take him back to his days at DHS 2 years ago. And it's really been a good turnout here at Tygerberg Rugby Club. And they've seen a lot of tries, especially after that 30-minute mark. Can the Junior Springboks make it 50? 43 plays 8. Hendrikse to Abrams. Looking ruthless. And a tremendous run there by the outside back. Hendrikse has a crack. And Tlabakanye gains meters. And Boudelezi almost getting through the gap. Hendrikse to Swanepoel, gives the offload away there to Molense, who has scored 2 tries in this outing. Space on the left, here's JC Null. And well turned over there by Namibia. And they don't want to leak another try, that's for sure.
Time is up on the clock, Justin, but you just had the feeling that JC Null had to let that ball go through the hands. Still had 3 players on his outside and some extremely powerful ones at that. Looks like Joe van Stel's going to have a throw in the line out. Most probably the last one of this game.
And it's a messy one. Namibia poach it. Space on the left, Della Hop to their only try scorer in Walters. Frustration again for Namibia. Tap and go from Hendrikse to Intlabakanye. And they know he's a big character. And ripped away there. Silampilo Gumede is going to score a second try. He gets the Springboks' 8th try of the game. And that is the icing on the cake.
Good work by the young man, Silampilo Gumede, getting over for his 2nd and the 8th of the Junior Springboks. And that certainly, Justin, will put them into the 50-point mark. Again, this man's been influential. Asanati, every time he touches the ball, something happens. And then Gumede, 2 strong fends. He's a lanky, powerful fella, is this young man. Over for 5 points.
The final whistle has gone. So the Junior Springboks with a convincing victory at 50 points to 8 over the Namibian open age side. It was a very tight opening 25 minutes, but then we saw 8 cracking tries from the Junior Springboks and a try from Namibia as well through PJ Walters. But Andries, an exciting thing to see there from the Junior Springboks was a combination of David Kutzer and Molense.
Yeah, they certainly were good, Justin. Both David Kutzer and James Molense are running threats that they have in the 10-12 channel, and they do put defences under pressure, and they can cut you open from anywhere. We saw that in the first 2 tries South African scored, with David Kutzer cutting the line with that sneaky offload every time, and then James Molense in the second half in the fly-off berth actually looked really good because he gets his hands onto the ball a bit more often, and he is an extremely dangerous runner. Kicking game probably not as strong as you'd like from a first choice fly half, but he certainly is a dangerous rugby player, and to my mind certainly the best player on the field today. In Namibia's instance, improved first half. In the second half, things just got away from them a little bit. Certainly some improvement, and Coach Phil Davis will be happy with that. They've still got a long time before they hit the World Cup, and there's plenty for them to improve on, and a lot of positive to take from this match.
Don't go anywhere. The party is carrying on, and up next, it's Los Pumitas taking on the Junior Lelos. Don't go anywhere.